We are in A Course in Miracles. This is the combined volume by the Foundation for Inner Peace. Today we are on Section 6, the Justification for Forgiveness. We are in Chapter 30, the New Beginning. If you'd like to close your eyes and join me in prayer. Dear Father, if left to my own devices, my perception will be skewed. I surrender to you everything that I think and feel. Please take my past, plan my future. Send your Spirit to redeem my mind that I might be set free. May I be your channel, God, and serve the world. May I become who you would have me be, do what you would have me do, go where you would have me go, and say what you would have me say, and to whom. And so it is. Amen. The justification for forgiveness. Anger is never justified. Attack has no foundation. It is here escape from fear begins and will be made complete. Here is the real world given in exchange for dreams of terror. For it is on this forgiveness rests and is but natural. You are not asked to offer pardon where attack is due and would be justified. For that would mean that you forgive a sin by overlooking what is really there. That this is not pardon, for it would assume that by responding in a way which is not justified, your pardon will become the answer to attack that has been made, and thus is pardon inappropriate by being granted where it is not due. Pardon is always justified. It has a sure foundation. You do not forgive the unlovable, nor overlook a real attack that calls for punishment. Salvation does not lie in being asked to make unnatural responses, which are inappropriate to what is real. Instead, it merely asks that you respond appropriately to what is not real by perceiving what has not occurred. If pardon were unjustified, you would be asked to sacrifice your rights when you return forgiveness for attack. But you are merely asked to see forgiveness as the natural reaction to distress that rests on error and thus calls for help. Forgiveness is the only sane response. It keeps your rights from being sacrificed. This understanding is the only change that lets the real world rise to take the place of dreams of terror. Fear cannot arise unless attack is justified, and if it had a real foundation, pardon would have none. The real world is achieved when you perceive the basis of forgiveness is quite real and fully justified. While you regard it as a gift unwarranted, it must uphold the guilt you would forgive. Unjustified forgiveness is attack, and this is all the world can ever give. It pardons sinners sometimes, but remains aware that they have sinned, and so they do not merit the forgiveness that it gives. This is the false forgiveness which the world employs to keep the sense of sin alive. And recognizing God is just, it seems impossible His pardon could be real. Thus is the fear of God the sure result of seeing pardon as unmerited. No one who sees himself as guilty can avoid the fear of God, but he is saved from this dilemma if he can forgive. The mind must think of its Creator as it looks upon itself. If you can see your brother merits pardon, you have learned forgiveness is your right as much as his. Nor will you think that God intends for you a fearful judgment that your brother does not merit. For it is the truth that you can merit neither more nor less than he. Forgiveness recognized as merited will heal. It gives the miracle its strength to overlook illusions. This is how you learn that you must be forgiven too. There can be no appearance that cannot be overlooked. For if there would, it would be necessary first there be some sin that stands beyond forgiveness. There will be an error that is more than a mistake, a special form of error that remains unchangeable, eternal and beyond correction or escape. There would be one mistake that had the power to undo creation and to make a world that could replace it and destroy the will of God. Only if this were possible could there be some appearances that could withstand the miracle and not be healed by it. I'm going to read a little bit of Ken Wapnick's commentary on this section I just read, because I love Ken Wapnick and I feel like he clarifies, and this is such an important part. The whole book is, but honestly, I just received my books with Ken's commentary recently, so I haven't had it all along. So Jesus does not say do not get angry, but do not justify it when you do. Anger asserts that someone is responsible for our lack of peace and sense of dis-ease, and this is not the truth. Attack would have a foundation only if others did something to hurt us. Clearly, we can be attacked within the dream, but attack is not ours unless we choose to join with the ego's dance of hate. We let go of fear by recognizing that everything we perceive outside is a projection of the mind's guilt-inducing attack thoughts. By returning us within, the miracle frees us to choose the right mind's teacher, who gently guides us from the ego's world of terror to the laws of heaven that constitute the real world. This state of total forgiveness is all that is natural in a world of illusion, reflecting heaven's loving oneness that is the only reality. The only natural thought in the ego's most unnatural world is forgiveness, wherein we recognize the inherent worthlessness of all things that move, change, and die. This vision is the basis for letting go of the guilt and grievance, illusion, and projection. This vision is the basis for letting go of guilt and grievance, illusion, and projection, the meaning of salvation. We never forgive what happened, for what could ever happen in God's perfect world? We merely forgive the Son of God. We merely forgive the Son of God's exchange of madness for truth, in which he sacrificed his oneness. Thus, the miracle gives equal response to calls for help, as madness brought to sanity can only disappear in God's single answer. What is false, and what is true has never changed. Accepting the happy truth that only truth is true allows our dreams of spite to give way to the gentle light of the real world, which arises in our healed vision. When attack is no longer needed to defend against illusion, recognized as illusion, it disappears and Jesus' gift of forgiveness dawns on the mind, now desirous of nothing except his love. And I'm just going to stop there. I was just reading along. That was just some of Ken Wapnick's commentary on this section that I just read. It's very beautiful, but that would be a whole nother series, I think, and I don't know if I'm going to take a break after I do the manual for teachers and just do the meditations for the lessons. But anyway, thank you. I love Ken Wapnick, and I love his teachings and his clarification. Let me just say his clarification. And I love you. Thank you for joining with me. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.